right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Good Morning Xbox. I'm your host, Axel1324.
And I'm coolcatterri.
I am your compatriot, Eternal Shaddai.
That's right. Wow, Shaddai, it's been a long time, buddy. Welcome back. We missed you.
I know those OTs, man, during the weekend. Sometimes I say yes, sometimes I say no.
It is what it is. But you know who really missed you? I know Terry missed you.
I did. Yes, it's just not the same. Not the same without Shaddai.
That's right.
So, hey, boy, at least you have Fastback. Is not enough?
Oh, Fastback is great. No, shout out to Fastback. He's been great these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, he warmed up my chair, but now I took rain, so I'm back.
No, Fastback has been the real MVP for the last 2 weeks, and filling in and helping us out. Shout out to him. Speaking of Fastback, there he is. Yes, thank you so much, Fastback. You are the real MVP. Thank you so much for being here. Let's check in with the rest of the chat real quick. We got Your Wicked Hot saying, hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. Sick Slayer says, good morning, Sick Slayer. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. We appreciate you. And then we got Doggy Dog, my buddy Doggy Dog. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. We appreciate you. And then we have Jacob Novik coming in. Hey, thank you so much for joining us, Jacob. You are the real MVP. We appreciate you. And he says, Sony doesn't understand that they are destroying the reputation for all four shareholders. Hey, the shareholders have the money. They're the ones that make the world go round. Unfortunately, think of it as you will. Let's see. And the Game Complainers joins us. Shout out to him. He says, I just got up and made it. Shout out to the Game Complainers. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. We appreciate you. Of course, we have my beautiful wife. Thank you so much for being here and supporting me. You are the MVP of my life. Appreciate you.
Lewis.
Yes. Let's see. And that's it. And it's not Lois. It's Louise. Not Luis. Louise.
You're going to confuse me because Luis is for guys.
No, Luis. It's not Luis. It's not Luis. It's Louise Vivian. Yeah. And shout out to General Spartan. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. All right. But another week has passed by. Terry, what have you been playing?
So for me, I have just been playing a little bit of SnowRunner here and there, but I did recently get my hands on a copy of RoboCop, so I'm hoping to check that out this week.
Awesome. RoboCop. So you've been playing Mud Runner, you said?
SnowRunner, yeah.
SnowRunner. And who are you playing with?
I play with my friend Todd. So
okay.
It's a lot of me yelling at Todd.
Oh, I see.
It's good times.
I could have swore I saw Web Dave in our chat, but I don't see him now. Did I miss him? Can someone double check for me? And Doggy Dog says, RoboCop is so awesome. There you go. So there you go. RoboCop is amazing. Yeah, Doggy Dog swears by it. Shaddai, it's been a long time. What have you been playing for the last 2 months since you've been here?
I know. I have been playing the OT simulator.
The overtime simulator.
Yeah, the
overtime
simulator. Actually, I was playing before Final Fantasy IX, one of my classics, other than Final Fantasy VII, since I never played it. But after I finished that one, now at this very moment, I'm playing Alone in the Dark.
Oh, the new one with what's that actor's name?
Yeah, with Edward Carby. That's the
him.
No,
yeah.
That's not. You're talking about the one that plays the voice. He is from Stranger Things.
Yeah, the guy from Stranger Things. Love him. The guy from Silent Night or Violent Night. That great movie, by the way. Yeah, that guy's awesome. That guy, I love him as an actor.
That game is really good. I give him that one. It's really, really good.
Yes. And of course, I have been playing the packing game. As you can see this week, there is no table, no more desk. The train is gone. Everything is gone. All I have is my lonely little plant over here.
What is his name? Stinky?
No. You don't name the plants because, I have been unsuccessful at keeping plants alive. But this is the only decoration left in the room.
Yeah, but it seems to me that you're neglecting him because you put him on the corner like he's punished.
Over. So shout out to Doggy. Like I was showing him this during our green room discussion. He's all like, "You should put a little plant, or you should put something in the corner." Like
Stop
what
being green. Go to the
we have,
corner.
and put that little plant in there. Now it's become a talking point. Shout out to Doggy for thinking about this. Terry loved the plant when she saw it.
Yeah, I was like, man, the thing looks depressed.
Press plant. Uh, yeah. Yes. So
I would not say depressed. Look, it has a shadow.
yeah, it's a
It's talking
shadow,
to
yeah.
itself.
Yeah, that's right. It's good. My wife says, "How could you punish snakes?" So she named it Snake. It's a snake plant. But yeah, you know where you are? You are Shaddai. You're in the jungle, baby.
I see. I prepare myself.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. Yeah. So I have been playing. I only played. I played like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes of Halo Wars 2 this week. I finished another battle on Unicorn Overlord, but that's only like 30 minutes. And then I played a Dark what is it? Warhammer 40K Dark Tide? Vermintide some more. Loving that game with my friends. It's so funny. Some of the stuff that happens. It's so funny. I'm basically doing nothing but increasing my character's toughness. So like all my friends go down and I'm still awake, still alive, and I'm over there saving them, and it's so funny to me because they increased their offensive abilities and all this stuff, and I went full blown like toughness, so I don't die. It's fun. It's definitely fun how you can change the builds up. So yeah, it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So yes, and let me.
Now Web Dave appears.
Yeah, I was going to say I thought I saw him in the chat earlier.
Yeah, he said Axel guesting on the Gamers Console tonight.
Oh yeah, hold on to me. Let me see here if I can do this right. Yes. Okay. Yes, that's right, guys. I will be on the Gamers Console tonight. Shout out to Web Dave. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. That's right. I will be Axel. He says Axel guested on the Gamers Console tonight. Yes, I will be on the Gamers Console tonight with Silent Cypher and Web Dave, of course. And we're going to talk about predictions, rumors, and speculation about the Xbox Game Showcase. Be sure to join us. Show starts at, I believe his show starts at 6 p.m. my time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern. Correct me again, Web Dave.
Wait, is he Eastern
6
time?
p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. So yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern.
7 for you. Yep.
Yeah. So 6 p.m. for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, be sure to join. Be sure to check it out. There
Stupid time zones.
Yeah, you got to do some math around here, man.
That is not my strength.
Yeah. So be sure to check it out. Shout out to Web Dave again. Thank you so much for having me as a guest. Appreciate it. Let's see. Jago Cookin won that plant Friday night on an intermission time. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and shout out to RWK88. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. We appreciate you. Yes. So it is going to be a good time. But I think that's it for today. Where is it? The panel has less hair this week. Yeah, we don't have the facial hair you have, Fastback. There's that. And Dreadpool is gone as well with his long hair. He's out doing, I think he called it Greek Easter.
Yeah, the Greek
celebration.
Easter. Yeah.
So yeah, no.
I get my map and I put it underneath my chin like I have a freaking view.
So yeah. That's it for the introductions. Let's get right to the news. Let's start off with some announcements here. So, Terry, your favorite game is getting some updates. Starfield, next update adds new gameplay options, improved maps, 60 FPS support on Xbox Series X, and more. This is coming to us from Windows Central. So let's see what you need to know. Starfield first launched back in 2023. The next big update for the game is entering Steam beta testing and brings gameplay options like modifiers, empty modules for shipbuilding, improved maps, and more. Xbox Series X players will be getting new display modes, including a 60 FPS mode and a 40 FPS mode for those of you who have VR TVs. And a land vehicle is also in development, but won't be included in this upcoming patch. That's probably going to come out with Shattered Space. So, as shared by Bethesda on Wednesday, the next update for Starfield is entering Steam beta testing with a full launch planned on May 15th. Terry, where'd it go? May 15th, Terry. This update is bringing some major gameplay options across all platforms, including improved surface maps, which I saw. They look great. Modifiers to the overall experience, and empty modules for shipbuilding. There's also a new setting that keeps the camera from zooming in during conversations, meaning dialogue plays out more like the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim instead of Oblivion, which doesn't bother me at all the way it used to be. For console players on the Xbox, Starfield is also getting a suite of new display modes, including a 60 FPS mode. Yeah, I never want to hear the whole like, oh, you know what, we want to keep the artistic vision 30 FPS, because it seems like everything eventually gets 60 FPS mode. So yeah, there you go. In case you want to know, Windows Central did put literally all the things that are on this update. It is a massive update. Like 90% of this article is just the notes of the update. So yeah, Terry, would you like to start us off with your favorite game, Starfield, getting these updates? I mean, check out this map. Look how cool this map looks, Terry. Come on. This is going to make you go back in just to look at the maps.
No, it's not.
I mean, even outside the main hub. Whoops. Look at this. Even outside the main hub, look how cool this map looks.
Yeah, they should have had that at launch. But no. Too late.
So Bethesda, of course, being typical Bethesda, the better game comes years after they've launched it. So take it away, Terry. What do you think? Do you think this update is good for gamers, for those of us that haven't played Starfield, for those of us that are still playing Starfield, whatever?
I feel like this is a great update. It's just for those of us who have already completed the game, it's too little too late, because I'm not going back to play it again just for this stuff. So like, it's definitely great for anybody who's had this game on the backlog and hasn't gotten into it yet. Your first time playing experience will be a lot more enjoyable than those of us who didn't have all these features and fixes. But yeah, like I said, I'm not going back just so I can have a better map.
You come on 60 FPS on your console, Terry.
I couldn't care less about 60 FPS. So that's not enough reason for me to go back and replay it.
You heard it here first. This is now Film It Terry. Film It mode.
All right. It's just these games take enough time and honestly, after I beat it the first time, I had zero interest in doing the Game Plus mode. So like, nah, I'm over it. I moved on. I'm not going back. They would have to have some substantial DLC to really pull me in. And literally them adding a vehicle in the future is something that everybody had been asking for since day one. So again, that's a little too late. You know, like
a little too late.
Yeah, you're like, come on. But yeah, no. I think this is great for those who haven't played it yet, or if you're just one of those people who just play this over and over and over, because there are people out there who played it like 10 times and they still, for whatever reason, haven't gotten bored yet. Go ahead and you'll have some more enjoyment for those people. But I'm good.
Yeah, so a lot of people are saying that a lot of this should have launched with the game, and they should have delayed it to May 15th this year. What do you think, Terry? Should they have delayed it?
No. I feel like this stuff should have been available, but at the same time, the game was polished enough for release. I mean, I still have bugs in my playthrough, but I feel like from what they had to what they're adding, it wouldn't have been worth delaying it like a year. You know what I mean? So it's just the way it is. I feel, it's just The update's great, but it wasn't worth a year-long delay. and
Right.
it's just unfortunate they didn't have this available at launch. So it's like they kind of like screwed themselves on both sides of that coin, I think.
Okay. Shaddai, Starfield updates coming out May 15th. Are you going to jump back in or explore space again?
I am happy that I played for a little bit, stop, because those annoyances, bugs that I experienced, especially the invisible man that I had last time. I know we showed up, or I know I showed it to you for the people to see it. That the only thing that you saw was his suit,
Oh
but
yeah. The where your body was gone. Yes.
yeah. So that's the reason why I stopped playing it, and I was beginning to like it. Like I said before, I repeat it again. It was gonna be my first Bethesda game. I'm not talking about the Wolfenstein because I love those. I'm talking about, the Skyrim Fallout. That's Bethesda. But
Whoops.
now that I see that this update is happening, I'm glad that I hold on to it and try to jump back to the game. But I still believe that the reason why are we getting this, we have to also remember that I have a sense that they remove everything that it was from the PlayStation, because remember, it was made for 2 consoles. So I don't know if it was a lot of access that they had to remove. So it could be like 100% playable for the Series X. And that's why we're getting it now. But I'm ready to go back in and play it. But I do believe it should have been delayed at least 2 years.
Oh,
Because
2 more years.
Yeah, because look, I'll tell you what. Right now we're getting this, this thing, the 4K and whatever. Later on, we're gonna get what the mouse and keyboard support. You know what I mean? It's like they're splitting everything. Like, okay, this year we're gonna get this one, and then the next year. So if you put them together, that's 2 years. So might as well just hold on to it for 2 more extra years.
No, that's a bit too extreme.
Well, you know what? The way they're doing it, that's pretty much totaling to 2 years. Something like you said, Terry, is supposed to be included in the game when it first launched, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, but these updates that they added wouldn't have needed 2 years.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I feel like these updates would never have happened because it was the community that asked for all these after playing the game.
Yeah, but that means that what's going to happen with the loading screen that people be talking about, which is actually true.
Oh my god, the loads are horrendous.
See what I mean?
But
that's because they're trying to remove all
the way they
planets.
designed it, though, the way they designed it to overhaul the game to where you don't have the load time, so that way it could be more like a lot of the other games we see today. That would have taken many, many, many years to redo all of that.
See, 2 years.
No.
See?
It would have been more than 2 years if they were going to try to get rid of all of the loading, because there's a lot of loading.
That's because
to get rid of all the loading, they would need a new engine.
Yeah.
Just flat out.
Or maybe smaller planets that you could actually not be empty. That could have probably...
You're telling me space is fully populated, Shaddai?
Hey, you never know. We only see probably something from the surface. We don't know beyond that. But since it's a fantasy game,
literally every freaking planet had outposts on it. So yeah, there should have been a lot more going on.
My favorite part is this: the vehicles.
Every single planet had outposts, dude. Every single one.
No, wait. When I played it, it was one outpost. And it took me 2 hours to work from an outpost to the first area.
The hell? Why did you run?
Because I love running.
He loves running.
Yeah,
my favorite part of this is the vehicle that's going to be coming with it. Look at this. This looks cool.
Sometimes the character needs a little bit of cardio, because sometimes I feel like he's fat. So
Shaddai made his character fat.
Yeah. And panting a lot. So yes, he needs the cardio.
Let's see. Here you go. Artistic vision. Yeah, I never want to hear about 30 FPS being artistic vision. 60 FPS always is coming later. I think, as I've always been, I've always said Xbox first party needs to do 60 FPS because you cannot name me a PlayStation first party that is 30 FPS only at launch. This is something you don't hear about on Team Blue. So yeah, Xbox Team Green needs to get with the time and get to 60 as a standard. Just saying. So
Well,
yeah,
not
the
for
60
nothing, but
FPS thing finally, which should have been there at launch, coming in. I'm actually going to load it up with that 60 FPS because I want to see the difference between the 30 FPS and 60 FPS.
I like that. I like that.
If it's the same as my computer, because I played a Starfield on my computer as well at 60, and the graphics did take a hit, but not enough to really affect the gameplay, right? And I did say the vistas definitely looked better on Xbox. So like when I'm looking out on a planet looking at something like this at 30 FPS, these vistas, like the background of this shot, looked beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, it looked gorgeous compared to the 60 FPS mode. But the firefighting was definitely smoother on 60 FPS. Just saying.
But I like that the 30, 40, 60 options.
40 doesn't exist to me. It's either 30 or 60. I don't know why they're doing 40. Looking forward to the new updates. Didn't care it wasn't 30 or 60 FPS. Still enjoyed. So yeah, Fastback still loved it. RWK88 says you can now make sandwiches at 60 frames. Shout out to you. That's hilarious. That's funny. Let's see. Jacob Novick says, question. Ever seen Star Wars? Because clone, sir, we finally have a good online game. Jim ordered leaving. Executive Order 66. I am so confused with your statement right there. Clone, sir, we finally have a good online game. Jim before leaving. Execute Order 66. Jim
because
before leaving. But Jim worked for.
Remember, he's talking about Helldivers. So Order 66 is like killing.
We'll talk about that next. Yeah, okay, I got it. I'm trying to link this to Starfield. I'm like, what? Yeah, let's see. Fastback says, give the developer the benefit of the doubt. They couldn't have 60 FPS ready at launch, then so be it. Studios have to meet their deadlines, can't delay forever. That is true. Still, though, expectation is 60. Games out with bugs are not normal. Let's see. Go back to prison eternal criminal opinion. The delay 2 years.
Hey, like I said, put them together. That's pretty much 2 years.
Let's see. These updates wouldn't have happened if it was going to PlayStation. Wow. Fastback says, what PlayStation first-party game is like Starfield? I can't really say one, but I mean, what Xbox game was like Starfield before they bought Bethesda? Oh no, I guess Outer Worlds maybe. But Outer Worlds had 60 at launch, so you're just saying. No, did it? I don't know, because that was last gen. Everything last gen was 30. So never mind. I could be just talking crap right now. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. The Gina, shout out to the Gina. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP, and of course, the Gina, part of Xbox Live Party podcast on when I work. So sometimes I listen to it live, sometimes I listen to it on replay. But shout out to the Gina. Thank you so much. He says it will run a flawless 60 FPS. Digital Foundry will call it a failure as the shadows look worse. Heard it here first. I mean, no lies. Digital Foundry is all about the shadows right now. Let's see. So yeah, apparently Jedi Survivor had problems at launch when it ran at 60. Yeah. So if you run it at 60, it has a tendency to crash. 2 people have said so. So there you go. Let's see. The game complainer says, that's why I stopped playing. Too many frame drops at $70 wasted. Ouch. That sucks when you think you wasted your money. You can't expect developers to throw everything plus the kitchen sink in and it would not have leaks. Give me a solid, smooth game and listen to the feedback. That is true. This update is all about the feedback. Like when you look at all the things they're doing here, this is all feedback based. So improved surface map, that comes from feedback. Improve navigation, inventory navigation tabs, feedback. Gameplay settings in the menu, ship decoration mode for the interior ships, all that feedback. Change traits and appearance after entering the Unity. That'd be cool, yeah. So you can definitely get a different playthrough every time. Okay, that's new. So that's, again, feedback. Dialogue camera toggle in the settings. I don't remember anybody complaining about that, but hey, they have access to feedback. I don't. This is ours, of course, display setting for Xbox Series X to prioritize visuals. So this update is basically the feedback update, which is great. I mean, it's great that developers listen to us, right, Terry?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Should
she's
I
not
even
very
though it would have
convinced.
delayed it for 2 years, they would have never gotten this feedback if 2 year delay would have came
No,
in.
yeah, Shadai's crazy on that one. 2 years is too much time. It's too much time. You know, they had already delayed this game. If they had delayed it again, the community of fans, because this was one of I think it was the most anticipated game at the time when it was coming out, and they already had a major delay. If they had delayed it again, that would have been a huge detriment to them, because there would have been too much of an outcry, and the fan base would have been overly upset. Like, that would have hurt them. Like,
Okay.
they would have got review bombed by everybody, even the people who were expecting the game, because they were so mad. So no, they definitely could not risk delaying it again. It's just unfortunate that they didn't already plan to have a better map system at launch. You know, the way that they had it designed was awful. I didn't like it.
Well, they didn't even have city maps, if you remember. Like,
yeah, they didn't. You know, those are things that they should have thought about earlier on in development. So that was a miss on their part. But everything else that they're adding, you know, makes sense, you know, down the road, because they're going to get feedback from people who are playing it. But there's just certain, you know, the map thing is just one of those things that they should have already had.
Look at that. That's cool. I wish that would have been there when I was playing, because trust me.
How long did it take the game to be made?
Yeah.
They should have figured that out, because they've made how many games? I mean, just look at all of the map options they have in like Elder Scrolls and other things.
I mean,
you know what I mean? So how did they miss
Bethesda, do you think I walk around this city without Google Maps open? Give me a break.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, they missed the mark when it came to the map system, because this is something that they've done in all of their other games, and then for whatever reason they decided not to do it on this one, and then they're like, oh, okay, I guess we gotta go back and do it, and, you know, because the fans are, you know, clamoring for it so much. But so this was a missed one for them. They should have had this.
How long did the game work? How long did it take Bethesda to make this game?
25 years in the making, my guy.
So 2 years. So 2 years too much. Are we going backwards? So 27 is smaller time, but 2 years is more time.
No.
So now
you know, considering that the game was already delayed twice after a release date, because it was originally supposed to launch, what was it, 11/11 of 2022 or 2021? I don't remember. I remember it was 11/11, the original launch date.
But that's because they're trying to change whatever they had set up for the PlayStation before Microsoft bought them, and they had to change a lot of the things. So they had time. So 2 years would not kill them.
I'll let Terry read this one.
Seriously? Okay.
Censor appropriately.
Censor appropriately.
Oh.
Okay, well, at least they made a game instead of building a stupid barn to have happy adult fun time.
Wow.
That's censored appropriately.
Yeah, that was censored appropriately, yes. All right, so that's going to do it for Starfield, but that's what we think. I think that the update is good. I don't think it's overly done. Like, I still enjoyed the game. It was my number 2, my first run. It was my runner-up to Game of the Year last year. So it was a very good game for me. I enjoyed it. But of course, that's what we think. Terry, what does the chat think?
The chat. Oh, I have to vote yet. Put my vote in. My vote didn't go through. I don't care. I need to see the results.
Do you not see it?
No, it's still asking me to vote, but I can't vote.
Yeah, no. Let's see. So I'll read it. It said, should Starfield have been delayed to 2024? 57% of our chat says no, but 42% said yes.
Look at that,
So,
popped up.
so can I vote like so many times so I could put yes, 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 yes,
No.
I mean, I guess you could try to, but you might have a bad time. Okay.
yes?
Yeah, you might have a bad time.
Mm.
Okay. So let's see. Let's move this show right along here up to the next topic. We are going to go down. This is coming from Push Square. That's right. Push Square. Sony doubles down on Helldivers 2 PSN requirement by taking on off sales for PC in numerous countries. All right. So let's update everybody in case nobody knows. So there's this little game called Helldivers that is doing great numbers. Oh, sorry. Shout out to Mike Johnson. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. There's this game called Helldivers, which has taken over the multiplayer scene on PC, doing great numbers, doing fantastic for Sony, has been touted as nothing but a success. But now they're going to require you to have a PSN account to access the game. Now, it should be pointed out that it was always intended to require a PSN account to access the game. They just couldn't get it to link properly. Well, I guess the link is working now, and now they're having it, and it take the 2 minutes that it takes to make a PC account should be no problem for everybody. But the PC Master Race is just not happy with it. They're calling Sony out, saying that you're going to shrink the user base. You're going to shrink everybody. They have dropped 100,000 negative reviews on Steam as of late, and they are reacting negatively to this requirement. Now, I want to backtrack. Every Xbox game requires you to have an Xbox username, a Microsoft account.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you play it on Xbox, on Steam, or on PlayStation, or Nintendo Switch, you need a Microsoft account to log into the game. Terry's favorite developer, Ubisoft, requires you to have a Ubisoft account to play all of their games. Rockstar, who is owned by Take-Two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, requires you to have a Rockstar account to play Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption, stuff like that.
I know. Doesn't Square do it too? I know they have it for some games. I don't know if it's for all, but I know
think
Square
does have it as well.
I heard
Square has it
Capcom.
too.
I think
Yeah.
Capcom have it for Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah, Capcom is having it for Dragon's Dogma 2. So this is not anything new, but for some reason, it's blowing people up on PC. But I think the big reason for it is because PSN doesn't exist in 177 countries that this game was sold to. This game should not have been sold to these countries. Here, there's 177 regions. I'm not even going to call them countries because some of these are regions. Regions have no access to PSN. Like, you cannot make a Puerto Rico PSN account. Obviously, they're lucky they get to make a US PSN account, right?
Don't even go there. It's a
Yeah,
mess.
so some of these places may not exist, right? May not be as big a deal as others, right? But like the Philippines, that's a whole country being locked out of this, right? And in some of these countries, such as Ukraine, where's Ukraine? Is Ukraine on here? Uganda. Well,
Holy see.
okay. In Ukraine, you can have a PSN account. However, your PSN account must be linked to a PS4 or 5. So if you want to play Helldivers on PC, you got to go buy a PlayStation in countries like Ukraine.
What?
Yeah, you heard that
That's
right.
the first time I hear that.
You heard me right. So some countries that are not listed on here have access to PSN accounts, but only if you link your PSN account to their console. That's the dirty part to me. The requiring the username doesn't affect me as whatever, I'll just put in my trash email that I use for all my linked accounts and that I put absolutely no real information on, and I'll play some games. And the one thing I do recommend, though, guys, is definitely do not link any financial information to your PSN account. Definitely do not.
Learn the hard way, yes.
Definitely do not. Whether you think good or bad of Sony, definitely do not do that because they get hacked
Yep.
often.
I always buy
And-
the digital things off Amazon, and then I put the code in because I
Yeah.
don't trust
They
Sony.
got hacked in 2011 3 times, hacked
I
in
know.
2014, hacked in 2017, hacked in 2023 twice. So I would not put financial information on your PSN account when you go on there.
I got
But back to this.
I got money stolen from there too. One for $9.99, the other one was $19.99, and they didn't want to give me the money back.
Yeah, and they are not very good at doing
Nope.
this. So, Terry, thoughts on this PSN requirement for Helldivers 2? Is it going to kill the game?
No, I mean, we got PlayStation people making Microsoft accounts to play Sea of Thieves. I feel like some PC people will make a PlayStation account to play Helldivers. It's fine. Yes, there are going to be the minority that are just extra loud and complaining about how they're not going to do it, but they're going to do it because if they want to play the game, they're going to do it. So just don't put your financials on it. Just make an account. You don't have to have any real information on it. Just make an account with, like you said, just an email you don't care about and play your dang game. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, and it is a games as a service. It needs as many gamers as possible to function. But I highly doubt that I, here played in the US, would be teamed up with someone in the Philippines. The ping would be insane. That's all. That's what I'm saying, right? So in the US, which is the biggest gaming market in the world, I don't think we're going to affect this.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy? Like you said, United States is like whatever the best. But what baffles me is that Puerto Rico is part of the United States and is pretty much treating them like a second-class citizen. And for me to see it on that list is like, wow, okay, that's crazy. I thought they were going to be the same. But
yeah, so it's weird that Puerto Rico has I mean, technically it is a territory.
Yeah, but it's part of the
United
States.
It's not a state, but I'm fairly sure that being a territory, you have access to all the states' stuff.
Exactly. It's like the U.S. Virgin Island, which I saw it too. It's part
Guam
of the
on there?
Guam? Oh, yeah, let's see. Is Guam on here?
They're U.S. territory.
Iraq.
Yep, right there.
Guam, right there. Yep, Guam.
See what I mean?
Puerto Rico.
See what I mean? So Puerto Rico doesn't feel, lonely.
There's a country called Isle of Man?
Hey,
okay,
hey, you should have seen it. It said Holy See. I'm like, what? Holy See.
Yeah, so there you go. There's a lot of countries on here. Now, of course, Steam being the amazing service that it is, if you are in these territories, if you request a refund, they are automatically approving those refunds if you are in these territories. So shout out to Steam for being a fantastic gaming service and being proactive on this. So yeah. Shadai, what do you think?
What I think is that Sony being Sony, they're not having a best year ever. They're always trying to ruin something, and I'm not surprised by this. I'm with you, Axel, because I know when I'm playing on my Nintendo Switch and I have Minecraft, they ask me for my Microsoft account, and I'm like, okay, so I do it anyways. But at the same time, I get it. So it's like when you said about you gotta connect to PlayStation 4 and all that.
Yeah.
Well,
in some countries you can get a PSN, but you must connect it must be linked to a console.
But those are like, see, how long have you had your Microsoft account? Since what? The Xbox One?
I've had my Microsoft account since like 1999 or something like that.
But see what I mean? So
yeah, a long time before the series. Before Xbox even was in the console market.
See, like for you and me, because I know I was in the Xbox One era too, so it carries on. So we don't have a problem with that. So I don't know during those time. I don't care if it's PlayStation 2, 3, or 4, whatever. If they didn't have that, that's different because sometimes politics come into it because probably they don't want Sony certain way, whatever. So it blocks them. Why am I saying that? Sometimes that happens. That's the reason why I mention it. Sometimes politics gets in the way and they don't get what we're getting. But it's typical Sony. They're always trying to do something and ruin it. So I don't have much to say about this. I have a Microsoft account and I could link into everything. So it's like, okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I just want to say this isn't a Sony thing. This isn't a Sony thing. This literally everybody does this and has been doing this for many years. I mean, I've played on PC as well, and pretty much every single game I play that's an online game, you have to log into some sort of account, or you have to make an account. Even your free games, you have to make a stupid account. So to whine about making yet another account because it happens to be a Sony account just seems, like a double standard. Like, you're okay with making 50 plus accounts for all these other know nothing companies that you only play the one game for, but you're not going to make a PlayStation account. Like, why?
Do you lose your game if you don't have it? I know I heard something like that or read it. Like, if you don't have, I know it was for Steam that if you don't have an account or you play for 2 hours, I know it was a refund, but yeah.
So normally the refund policy on Steam is you have to play for less than 2 hours. But if you're in these countries that are listed here, you are going to be automatically refunded.
Yeah. Sony is ups.
So just showing you guys, right? So this is the last week when this has happened, right? So shout out to Steam Database, right? So these are the PC players that are going to be affected. Obviously, console players are not going to be affected by this requirement. But the game is pretty much still got
They're steady.
A steady player of 84,000 players, 114 peak players in the last 24 hours. It doesn't look like it's really affecting it. If we go back to a month, you can see it has a steady decline of monthly active users, as is normal for a game as a service, right?
Yes, because
all this is super normal trending for a games as a service as it gets into what's known as its core player games. The hype wears off. So I don't think this is really going to be affecting it as much as the media and Twitter is making it seem. As I said, the only part I have a problem with is in countries where your PSN must be linked to a console. That needs to be updated.
Yeah, that's dumb.
That's the only problem I have, right? Outside of that, I don't think it's an issue. Like, if I had Helldivers 2 on PC and I needed to make a PSN account, I already have one, first off. It wouldn't bother me. But, it seems everybody seems to be making a big deal about it, and I just don't think it's that big of a deal. Because, as I said, Terry's favorite gaming company, Ubisoft, requires you to do it. I've needed a Ubisoft account since Rayman Legends, maybe? And that was back in like 2014, 2015, something like that. So yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I don't think it's a terrible requirement. It's free. And for big corporations right now, the number one asset they have is your information, access to your information. To them, that's more valuable than the $70. Just saying, or $40 for in case of Helldivers, right? So yeah, I mean, I don't think it's really that terrible. Considering that, let me see, the low point for this week has been 56,000 players, and the high point for the week has been 160,000 players. I mean, that's just, the low point in this big high was 47,000. So to me, it's just kind of stabilizing.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I think. But that's what we think. Oh, hold on.
I just know, like, on PC, I had to make a Gaijin account so I could play Crossout, and let me tell you, that free game, that account got hacked so many times. But I never put anything on it. I just, had it to sign into the game. But yeah, even a free game, people will sit there and they'll hack into your account. And like, it's a free game, bro. Go play it. Why are you hacking into my account? they're probably hoping I have my credit card on there so they can buy, add-ons and stuff. But like, I don't keep my credit card information on any of that stuff.
No, don't. I don't load credit card information into Xbox either. Like they cannot charge me. Like I don't load credit card info. If you're not a bank, you don't get my credit card information. Just saying. And it's like, oh, would you like to save your credit card information to make payments easier? No. Anyways, let's see. Let's check in with the chat. Let's see. Let's see. No. I have no idea what's going on here. Something about Barnes.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, that was yeah. All right, here we go. The Gina says, if you're from any country in Africa other than South Africa, you lost access to your game. It is what it is, unfortunately. And I did see that map of countries that have lost access to Helldivers.
See, that's what I was talking about earlier, but I
don't know, country map.
The Sahara network is not good enough. It's too sandy.
God. Somebody did have a map up of all the countries that were in red that lost access, but yeah, Africa was one of them. Let's see. Doggy Dog says, my nephew was talking about this yesterday to me. He doesn't want to connect his Steam account to PSN because he doesn't want to get hacked. Yeah, that is the number one concern I would have. Let's see. I understand Sony publishing having the rights to add PSN link requirements, but should have been day one and sucks for those in countries PlayStation not available. It was supposed to be day one, but they turned that feature off because something to do with the servers overloading. They couldn't get it to work properly at launch. Doggy Dog, anyone who has a PlayStation credit card on PSN is nuts. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Jason Max. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, just remember, Xbox is number one. That's right. Xbox is up front, so this doesn't happen. Yeah. If I was a Steam player, a Steam only gamer, I would not like this. PC, some guy, PC Master Races, they do everything they can to distance themselves from consoles. Just like console gamers have the extremists, PC Master Race gamers have the extremists too. So definitely a thing, yeah. Let's see. Fastback saying PSN linking is just a way for Sony to say, hey, look at PlayStation engagement growth. Of course, Xbox does the same. It's business. Absolutely true. 100% Fastback. Henry Jones, shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, PC gamers want nothing to do with PlayStation or Xbox. Having to make PSN accounts makes them furious. PC Master Race. There you go. What I was just reiterating. Got a second vote by Henry Jones. Absolutely. The game complaint is the PC version of Helldivers 2 has a built-in rootkit. I'm more worried about that than a PSN account. Rootkits are pretty bad. You can get hacked seriously with a rootkit. Like someone can take over your computer with a rootkit. It's crazy. They're going to lose a lot of players. Shout out to Jason Darby, first and foremost. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, but now this will be a way for the PlayStation fanboys to see that the game wasn't doing good on their platform. I think it's been, to me, it's old news. Everybody knows that Helldivers 2 was basically being seeing the success mostly from PC, not from PlayStation. But my nephew, he has a PlayStation and he's playing Helldivers 2 and he loves it. So
yeah, games with services tend to do better on PC.
So yeah. Any closing thoughts, Terry, on this?
There was something. It doesn't exist anymore, but I remember years back, Sony had, what was it, like Sony Entertainment Online, or I forgot what they had. They had that one. They had that one like thing years ago, and for like all their PC games, and it was for, I think I used it for DC Online or something. I can't even remember. But I had to sign in. I had to make a Sony account to play DC Online many years back. So this isn't anything new. So I feel like PC gamers whining about this, like they probably already did it for those games back in the day.
They forgot their password and are having trouble retrieving it. So they're pissed.
Yeah, SOE, yeah. So like that was the thing. I don't remember anybody ever complaining about having an SOE account on PC.
Yeah,
No one ever
Sony
complained
Online
about that.
Entertainment. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sony Entertainment Online. Yeah, yeah. This is really a non-issue. People are blowing it up. The
Yeah.
100,000 negative reviews. Maybe that is people that are going to be losing access that are on the list of countries here. Like if you're on these list of countries and you're leaving a negative review, then yeah, I can 100% see you leaving that, and losing 100,000 active users is something. But only time will tell how much they will suffer in this. Jacob Novik, I forgot to read your chat. Did I see your chat? Let me see.
I mean,
I see the
it
word
was
funny.
retracted.
Shout out to Jacob Novik. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Are you talking about this one? Seriously, where's the first 9 barns?
Yeah.
I don't know where they are. The first one is at Rare. That's all I know. Let's see. Yeah, it started in the PS2 days. Yeah, exactly. This is an old practice.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like that, you had the SEO account, because I had one on PC, and like nobody ever complained about it. You wanted to play a game that they did, you just made an account and you played it. No one ever complained. So I don't know. So this is, I feel like this is just people acting like petulant children at this point.
Hey, Jacob, you forgot to read my last chat. Your message was retracted. Your message did not load. It says message retracted. So I have no idea what you post on there, but it got retracted. So I'm not sure what. Maybe you need to nice it up. Whatever it was. Should I? Any closing thoughts on this?
No, actually no. We just whatever. I think the ones that are complaining are the ones that can't get in, within those countries right there anyway. So
okay,
I think that's where the backlash is coming, not from the United States.
Right. And it's justified, because if you're in the US and you're complaining about this, that's just first world problems. Like not a real problem.
Well, not, yeah, but that's another thing. If you have all these countries and they're not stabilized, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Terry, but that's what we think. What does the chat think?
All right, is the PSN requirement going to negatively affect Helldivers 2? 66% yes, last players for game of service. 22% no, gamers will still play, and 11% I don't care about Helldivers 2.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Well,
it's a game.
So I think it will affect their monthly numbers, but I don't think it's going to be detrimental.
It'll impact them a little bit, but like you pointed out, it's a game of service. Most of that player base is going to fall off anyway when they hit the end game. So it's a nothing. It's a nothing burger.
It's a nothing burger. But let's move back over to the Xbox side. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but The Verge has basically leaked the Xbox game roadmap for 2024. They're saying, so of course, Hellblade releases here in 7 days.
7
days this month.
This May. You mean June?
It releases in May. So, of course, they're not talking about Hellblade. So, first game is Hellblade. Up next is Shattered Space expansion coming to Starfield. They said that it's still in fall. And he says, and I understand Bethesda is currently targeting September. So, Starfield, Shattered Space in September. Activision is targeting Call of Duty for late October. With Avowed and Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 in November, and Indiana Jones in December. Delayed. I can already tell you this is going to be delayed. So that is the roadmap. So we got Hellblade coming out, Call of Duty coming out, Avowed, Flight Simulator 2024. That's 4 games, and maybe Indiana Jones 5 games in 2024. So these are the dates that are being targeted, according to The Verge. Are you excited for Shattered Space, Terry?
Nope.
Continue. Shattered Space in September. Come on.
Not getting it.
I already got it. I am actually very excited to play Shattered Space, so I am very excited for it. All right, so Terry, September is a nothing burger for you. What about you, Shaddai? September, Shattered Space. Are you looking forward to it?
I can't really say because I have to play the whole game. I just played like probably 13 hours.
See,
And
this is the time for you to get it because you'll actually have a readable map.
Yeah, for real.
see,
Start
that's
playing,
a good.
Shadai, start playing.
No, you are right. That's why I wanted it. I was just waiting for them to fix that problem, especially when you were trying to go to a specific store that you have to memorize because the icon wasn't there. So now that we get those icons on where the store is located, that's a huge plus.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so between let's add Hellblade 2. Okay, so all right, hold on. Let me add this. Hold on. Let me see. All right, so we got Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2. We've got Starfield, Shattered Space. Hold on. I'm just making a list here.
The keyboard is
Call of
crying with your keyboard is crying with with pain.
Hey, this is the beauty of Razer. They make loud keyboards. There's no sneaking around in keyboards.
I'll go by the sound just to guess what you're trying to write.
All right, what am I writing?
I don't know if something says click 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 click.
All right, here we go. All right, Terry. Out of all these games from Xbox, which one of these are you looking forward to the most in 2024?
Out of those ones,
Yeah. And
probably
chat, let us know.
Avowed.
We'd love to hear what you guys have to say as well.
It's probably
Pick a
going to be
game and tell us
Avowed.
why you're excited.
So yes, Avowed. I want to see what they do. What was the one that they said it was linked to? Pillars of Eternity or something? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
to the Pillars of Eternity universe.
Yep.
Yeah, so I want to see how they translate that into a 3D world from from a top-down RPG. That sounds very, very cool. So I want to see it, and then you can do magic and guns at the same time. So that's cool.
That's right. Magic and swords, magic and guns, magic and shields.
Yeah. So I want to see. I want to play Avowed. I want to see what that's about.
Yes. So November is your month, then, Terry. If it doesn't get delayed. Terry's month is November, everybody. Shadai, if you had to pick one of these, which one would it be? And why?
Avowed. Same thing. I played Pillars of Eternity 1, beat it 200 hours. Heck of a game.
This is 200 hours.
Yeah, because
wow.
I played it.
Wow, Shadai. Did you play Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire or whatever it's called?
Deadfire. No, not yet, because I didn't want to get burnt after 200 hours with the first one.
Jesus.
So I wanted it to wait for
anything. I've played my Batman game, my Gotham Knights games for like 10 days or something like that. So when you're into a game, you're into a game. I really can't hit you up for a negative there. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. No, the story got me engaged. So I'm looking forward for Avowed.
Yeah, and it's made by Obsidian, right? About Pillars of Eternity.
Yes, Obsidian.
Let me see. The Paradox Interactive versus Evil. Oh, those are publishers. Sorry, developers. Yes. Obsidian. Yeah, so it is the Pillars of Eternity. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, my number one most anticipated game on this list is Hellblade 2 by far. I cannot wait for it to come out. I've been so hyped for Hellblade. I cannot wait. Cannot wait.
But wait. I remember that when Flight Simulator came to the Xbox, you were really hyped for that.
I am.
And what happened with this one, the 2024? So you're not hyped for that one?
2024 is the update. It basically adds jobs to Flight Simulator, which I download mods for that. So I've already played the essence of Flight Simulator 2024. But it's going to be fun to play. Okay, so 2 Avoweds, 1 Hellblade. Which one of these are you least excited about, Terry? Like so my month is May. So which month are you least about here, Terry? Which one could you care less about?
I mean, I have more than one. But
you got to pick one. Pick one.
Fine. Flight Sim would be my least likely for me to care about doing anything. I don't play flight sim. I don't. I love
This
simulator
little play
games.
SnowRunner, which is like this long simulator, but not
I
flight simulator.
I play a lot of simulators. I do, but flight sim is one that I could not get into. I tried it once many years back, and I was bored to tears. I couldn't do it. It was a little too sim. It wasn't enough, fun.
Okay. Shaddai, which one are you least excited about?
Flight sim.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I can't even get. I cannot lift the damn plane. I remember when I was talking to you and Noof and all that. I'm like, you know what? Let me start my flight from Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico have a small pond, and I ended up in the pond. I couldn't lift off. So I'm like, you know what? Let me start from the air and keep going because I was getting frustrated.
To this day, believe it or not, Shaddai, I cannot take off in a 747. I cannot get it in the air, no matter the longest runway in the world, and I cannot get it in the air. So anytime I fly a 747, I have to start in the air. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. 100%. For me, the least excited out of all these that I am, oh my gosh. Oh, there's kind of two of them. Okay, I'm gonna say this one. The chat, don't hate me. I could care less about Indiana Jones. Do not care about Indiana Jones. I have yet to play a single Indiana Jones game that is good. Name me a good Indiana Jones game. You can't. Right? Lego Indiana Jones was terrible even. I'm like, you know what? It's Lego. They can't get it wrong. They did. They got it wrong. Sucked. Right? Waste of $5 at GameStop for me. I have yet to play a good Indiana Jones game. I'm not that much into the movies. I think it's an old IP that's like, old millennials and old Gen Xers, more likely Gen Xers, are excited for it. But other than them, nobody really cares for it. So I'm just not into Indiana Jones. So
I have a feeling that they're gonna say it feels like another Wolfenstein, but skin as Indiana Jones.
Yeah. I believe it's going to get delayed. There's no way a December launch is happening for Indiana Jones. So yeah.
Okay. If Indiana Jones get delayed because by Machine Games under Bethesda, right?
Bethesda Machine Games, yeah, notorious for delays. It's going to get delayed.
So it is okay for Indiana Jones to get delayed, but not Starfield.
Starfield
delay should die.
It did get delayed
by a full year.
I got them rolling.
Oh my god!
Hey, Bethesda is Bethesda. I don't care what studio is involved.
Look, Indiana Jones will be one of the only games that comes out under Bethesda's umbrella that'll be good because they didn't make it; they just published. So that's why Wolfenstein's good because Bethesda doesn't make it; they just publish. So that's
Machine Games
hard facts.
Get with it, Shaddai. Get with it.
Talk to Todd. He's involving to that Indiana Jones.
Yes. Let's see. Let's see. Fastback says Game Pass needs a fire station with all this fire. Oh, yeah, I mean, the best part about this is that each and every one of us mentioned something we're excited about. Every month is not going to be for everybody, but we are all going to have something to play on Xbox. So that's great. Fastback said he's looking forward to Hellblade 2, Avad, and Indiana Jones. The game complainers say Call of Duty is his favorite. And shout out to Carlo from 4GQTV. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. Saying, hey guys, what's going on, Carlo? Don't forget, guys, I believe Majestic Mayhem is on tonight I think it comes on at 8 p.m. my time, so 9 p.m. Eastern. So be sure to check that out. Let's see. Shout out to Brando Calrizia. Sorry. Brando Calrizia, thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. He says, Shattered Space. Otherwise, I'm not excited about the list. I'm excited about Dungeons of Hindenburg. Ooh, okay.
Oh, that's the one that looked like Sable because of the graphics. Yep.
Yeah, it did. The game complainer says, Tomb Raider is the greatest Indiana Jones game of all time, Axel. Hard facts.
Yes.
Hard facts.
Can't deny that.
Jesse Darby. Axel, you're entitled to opinion. Just hope the trolls don't take it and run with it like they did with Jez. We'll talk about that for in a little bit. Henry Jones says, I'm a pony trapped in the Xbox ecosystem, so I'm looking forward to Hellblade 2 and Contraband. One is cinematic third person, the other is open world third person. We haven't heard anything about Contraband, actually, so yeah. Let's see.
Well, we
Axel is the character with a sword fighting Indy with a gun. Oh, are you talking about Dungeons of Hindenburg?
I thought he was Avowed since you're using 2.
Yeah, maybe Avowed. Let's see. Shout out to Xbox Gamer. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. He says, Indiana Jones getting delayed will kill Xbox momentum later this year. Now, I want to point out, this is not an official timeline, okay? This was leaked by The Verge. This is The Verge. Maybe during the showcase we'll know more, but this is The Verge saying this stuff, not Xbox. So I want to really be clear on that. Xbox has not announced a release date for any of these games. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, I think that's a good window. I think it's a good release date window. Definitely looking forward to it on Xbox. Definitely. So yeah, let's see. I think it's time for a nice break here of the news. It's time for Terry's Indie Spotlight. You got one for us, Terry?
I do.
I totally forgot to ask you before the show. All right, here we go. Let's go. Terry's in the spotlight. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, welcome back to my Indie Spotlight. And I got, this is going to be one for those of you who are fans of D&D, as well as fans of parodies. If you don't want to take your game seriously and you just want to have good laughs, this one's for you.
Not bad. I love it when things go smoothly. Seriously? This adventure sucked ass.
Dwarves are always so negative. I thought it was fun.
It sucked. No, it didn't. We successfully explored a remarkable dungeon. A crappy ruin, you mean? We earned experience and looted some high-quality stuff.
I got sandals that match my green skirt.
Still, I did lead a team of 8. Yeah, 1 dwarf and 7 dweebs.
I'm not a dweeb, you barstool.
We had some interesting quests.
I met a lot of nice people.
Who threw stones at you? And I gotta say, we did fight a lot of battles.
I got to shoot arrows.
And the game totally killed on PC. People loved it.
Oh, yay! I got a good grade for once.
And we had the best sales in video game history. Really? I mean, 7?
But is it all over now?
No way! We're coming out on consoles with a brand new adventure.
I love gamepads and teensy little buttons. Though, not sure I'll come if the dwarf's gonna be there.
I'm your worst nightmare, turnip face. Come on, stay. Zombies! There's gonna be super friendly creatures.
Ah?
Yeah. It'll be in a cozy, nicely lit place.
Yippee!
And with easy battles. What the bullshit? Yeah, well, I'm not gonna tell the truth, am I?
Trailer.
You're not my leader. You couldn't lead a chicken coop.
Well, I think that it...
Well, stop it. Turnips are not equipped for thinking.
At least I don't stink like runny old goat poop.
Oh, boy. This is gonna be a long one.
Wait, what game was that? Did they even say a title?
Yes, so it's called the Dungeon of Nahalbach. All right, so what was that? The Amulet of Chaos. Sorry, the Amulet of Chaos. So there you go. So D&D parody. It's a tactical RPG. So you're gonna have a lot of turn-based combat, and it's all about you have a group of imbeciles. You have a group of imbeciles trying to be heroes, and so you're gonna have a lot of chaos and a lot of humor along the way. Because it's all about being a parody. So you're going to have some fun. It also has adaptive difficulty. So whether you want to just do story mode or if you want to crank it up to nightmare mode, whatever is your style of gameplay, you can have some fun. And the game is in English. Originally, the game I think was only in German. So now they added English, so you can have some fun. It had us over 6,000 positive reviews last time I checked on Steam. People really loved it on PC, so they made a special version just for consoles that just came out. So go ahead and check that out. It is $35 on PC if you want to go play it over there. Otherwise, it's $40 on either PlayStation or Xbox. And they also have, I believe, 2 DLCs also available if you end up liking the game.
All right. Cool. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny.
The dwarf is the best.
Yeah, RWK, I agree with you. I agree with your statement here. I'm not going to read it, but yeah. Terry, this is a family show. I'm just kidding. Yeah, wow. It wasn't terrible. But yeah, how awesome is that? That one looked interesting. Definitely another fantastic indie by Terry. All right, guys. Thank you so much for that, Terry. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Twitter was lit on fire by none other than Jez Corden of Windows Central. Now, Jez was apparently talking to someone on the Discord for the Xbox 2 podcast. And somebody took some of the stuff he was saying on Discord, posted it on Reset Era. I think it's Reset Era. And it got picked up on Twitter, and Twitter was on fire. And everybody had opinions on it, including me. Let's talk about it. So first off, let's go over to context. This is what started the fire right here. This screenshot off of Reset Era. He said that all Xbox first-party games are coming to PlayStation, even Forza and Halo. Xbox will be more Steam-like in the future. Affordable prices, sales, more open for devs. Future Xbox hardware is going to be for fans who want it. I think that's already true, a true statement. Xbox hardware will be niche, like Steam. Don't know about that one. The next Xbox will sideload Steam. And quote unquote here, I don't think they expect to ever grow in hardware. Right? And then he said nobody wanted to give Xbox a chance, so this is what they get with a Sony monopoly. So this was picked up on by some platforms, but in specific, WCCF Tech ran a story saying Xbox will go full multi-platform with Halo and Forza on PlayStation, says Corden, who doesn't work for Xbox, by the way, but has been a reliable source of what's happening, right? So the original story, let me see if I can zoom this in without hurting my computer. Here we go. Around 3 months ago, a flurry of rumors suggested that Microsoft was preparing many Xbox exclusive games to go multi-platform, including heavyweights like Gears of War, Starfield, and the upcoming Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Shortly after those rumors, Microsoft broadcast a business update event where Xbox executives revealed that a few games were indeed making the jump to PlayStation and on Nintendo Switch. These games turned out to be Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, Grounded, and Sea of Thieves. Phil Spencer labeled this as an experiment and warned it didn't mean other bigger games would definitely appear on other consoles, but he also didn't say that they wouldn't. I think we should, as an industry, ever rule out a game going to other platforms. This is Phil Spencer, by the way. Ever rule out a game going to any other platform. We're focused on these 4 games and learning from the experience, which has been highly successful so far. I don't want to create a false expectation on those other platforms that this is somehow the first 4 to get over the dam, and then the dam is going to open and everything else is coming. That is not the plan today. Today. Notice these words, guys. Notice these words, leaving the window open. Do note that the final caveat, it was not the plan at the time. However, clearly Microsoft was open to the idea, especially if the experiment worked, which in my opinion it is. We don't know the hard sales data yet, except that Sea of Thieves has topped the pre-order charts ahead of its PlayStation launch. And just Gordon keeps bringing this up, basically saying that he says everything's going to go to PlayStation and Switch. He again talked about on Xbox consoles filling a niche like the Steam Deck doing for PC. Do take this as a rumor for the time being, but this does appear to be the direction Microsoft is willing to take. We may learn more in the coming weeks with the Xbox Game Showcase now officially scheduled for Sunday, June 9th. It's going to be the Xbox and PlayStation Showcase apparently now. Oh, according to this report. Meanwhile, vote in the poll below. The poll has ended. So, should Xbox go full multi-platform? So most people voted yes, but I want to know what some people listening to an Xbox podcast want to say. So I'm going to post this exact same poll here and see what people who listen to Xbox have to say. So of course, Jess Corden did come out and say that it's just his opinion, not a report. Don't treat it as a report. And he also came out to clarify that when he said nobody wanted to give Xbox a chance, he meant influencers, not gamers. So yeah. So Terry, while I type out this poll, give us your initial thought on this opinion. Do you share his opinion? Do you share his opinion? Do you think it's going to happen?
I mean, anything's possible, but at the same time, they all jump to conclusions about all the big games going over to PlayStation, and it wasn't those games at all that went over there. So I feel like this is one of those things where people need to just wait, stop jumping to conclusions before you have the facts, and just wait to see what happens. I don't like rumors and leaks. I prefer waiting for official statements. So this is just one of those things that people are going to get all riled up, and it might be, nothing. So, it'd be like, I don't know, they'll talk about releasing some other game that we don't really play anymore on PlayStation. You know what I mean? That isn't one of the big exclusive games. So who knows? It's just, I don't know. I just say that we need to wait.
All I know is that the PlayStation version will have the better shadows. For sure, guaranteed. PlayStation getting superior content, getting superior ports, higher frame rates, all that good stuff. Shaddai, what do you think about this? Just initial thoughts.
Okay, the first one for this is it's just an opinion, but since Jesse's that big, they'll go for whatever he says. And this is something that reminds me that I asked my friend, and it was that one when he says nobody wanted to give Xbox a chance, so this is what they get with a Sony monopoly. That is a question that I asked a friend of mine because he does have all the console, but he's more into the PlayStation side. And not too long ago, he sold his Xbox Series S because he said that it was collecting dust for him. So I asked him, let me ask you a real question. And it was, why do you hate Xbox? And his only answer was, it was a piece of crap console. So I'm like, no, tell me the reason.
Anything to do with the content.
No, but then again, I'm not like, no, you got to tell me, because I believe that the PlayStation and Xbox, they're the same console. He was like, because Microsoft sells some ideology that never happened. So pretty much like false advertisements. They tell you one thing and it never happens, or they just cancel out. So that's the reason why a lot of the Sony, whatever, they believe that. And that's the reason why I believe that's one of the reasons why gamers, they don't want to, Sony or whoever, they don't want to give Xbox a chance.
I agree with that because Xbox changes direction every quarter.
Yes, and that's the
being
problem.
Honest, it's tough as us as us fans to be like, oh, Xbox is awesome. Why? Well, because they got the best first party games. Games are coming over to PlayStation now.
Right.
Like, what? And believe it or not, exclusives matter. And being crystal clear about exclusives is good. But as Phil Spencer said, himself. This is from Phil himself.
Yes.
I don't think we should ever roll out a game going to any other platform. That includes, the tentpole, Halo, Gears, Forza, holy trifecta of Xbox games. And I have long said on this show that it's eventually going to happen. I'm in Camp Just Corden here because I also believe it's going to happen. I think it's inevitable. I mean, Microsoft is all about money, and they're going to move it over.
It'll be Flight Sim.
It will be fun to go over.
But he
You need fast internet for Flight Sim, and we all know PlayStation has crap internet.
You know what? if that ever happens, the way I see it is, I know they will want to say in a perfect world, everybody have the game and whatever, you play with everybody.
The Kumbaya.
Right, the Kumbaya.
We called it the Kumbaya here.
Yeah. The question is, the major one is, how can you be different than your competitor if everybody's having the same thing?
Preach. Testify. Should I testify?
No, and the thing is that I was writing in the DMs with somebody else, and they were like, why do we have to fight for exclusive when everybody gets to enjoy it? I'm like, that's fine and dandy, but how are you gonna get the credit you deserve if everybody having the same thing? That's what baffles me. That's why, like you said, Axel, exclusive are very important. It makes you different than your competitor. But that's something that you gotta look through a microscope. I know they're trying to say the data and all that. Sometimes data is not enough. I go by actions speaks louder than words.
Mm-hmm.
So you said also it's all about money, but you could cover why can't you cover in both fronts? You could have your exclusive, you could have your multi-plat, whatever. Not only games does it, but if you look at it, Disney Plus have a lot of exclusive, and it's all over the damn place. But you still have your exclusives. Yep. Netflix have a lot of, it's everywhere, but they also have exclusive. So why have everybody have the same thing?
Yeah,
it's monotonous. It becomes monotonous. It's like back in the what's gonna happen? It's gonna happen back in the days. We're going backwards. I feel like we're going backwards. It's like, okay, you know what? New gen, new everything. Let's start with multi-platform tier. Somebody's gonna decide like, no, Microsoft did something wrong to me, or Sony did something wrong to me. Nintendo did something. Steam did something, and they start creating something different just to have exclusive. So we're like going back in time. It's like weird.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, this is an inevitable future. As I've always said, I'm not going to stop playing Xbox games, but I feel that this is Xbox's inevitable future. Because I do think that the quote unquote the 4-game experiment is going really well for them. Sea of Thieves got like an 87 on PlayStation, but is rated like a 68 on Xbox. Wow.
We all know why. Too many Sony
Xbox tax.
Yeah. Xbox tax.
Let me catch some of the chat as they're being very chatty, which I love it. Let's see. The Game Complainer says Jez got caught in 8K. Yeah, he did. Shout out to Stephen Avery. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says Jez likes to hear himself talk. I think that's a true statement for almost everybody.
Well, you're an influencer. That's what you want, anyways.
Yeah. Sorry, hold on, guys. I'm getting some static feedback on my mic. There we go. Fastback says a bunch of TMC clickbait sites talking unverified drunk comments from Jez than actual facts from Xbox. Yeah. But they backed it up with good statements. Yeah. Stephen Avery says, just go back and watch the Xbox business update. Seems like people need Microsoft to assure them every 2 months. If Microsoft would take the direction and stick with it, people wouldn't need this.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Spencer did say that the Bethesda purchase was about bringing exclusives to you guys, the gamer, on platforms where Game Pass exists. Those are his words.
Yep.
But the Hi-Fi Rush, a Bethesda game, is accessible without a Game Pass platform. Pentiment, I think. No, Pentiment.
Yeah,
Is Pentiment a Bethesda game? It is, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's Obsidian.
Also accessible.
No, it's Obsidian. Sorry.
Obsidian.
But-
Sorry, Obsidian. So
Obsidian.
let's see. Pentiment,
You're
Grounded.
talking about Redfall.
Yeah. Yeah, stuff like that. So I'm just going to use Hi-Fi Rush, which was highly rated, 90 Metacritic game, now being accessible on a platform where Game Pass does not exist. So people wouldn't need Microsoft to reassure them if Microsoft wouldn't change direction every 3 months. So when you say every 2 months, you're very close. Every 3 months, Xbox changes directions because they are part of a company that sees quarterly performance. And you have to keep your department performing well. Otherwise, Microsoft is one of those companies that just shuts you down. So, the Xbox division, the Microsoft gaming division is doing everything to keep that performance up.
But if that is the case,
every 3 months,
but you know what? I want to include that. If that is the case, what you're saying right now, Axel, is gonna be, I kid you not, is gonna be another Embracer group. They're gonna
it
start.
could be.
If he's gonna end up
they
like
start
that,
selling off parts of their acquired. Like they let go of what was it?
Volition,
Toys for Bob. They let go of Toys for Bob right away.
Yeah, but that's because remember they said they could be they're independent. It's part of us, but they're not gonna force. It seems to me that they're not gonna force them.
Maybe they're gonna force. What's the word?
They have
positive
independent freedom. That's why.
Well, they're going to independently succeed or independently fail. If you keep putting out stuff that doesn't sell well, you're going to be independent. Maybe not forced to make a great game, but you're going to be let go to go create your own games however you want because you're not bringing money in. Just saying. And that's just the corporate structure, guys. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm just being realistic about the corporate structure. Let's see. RWK88 says, PlayStation fans will say, I can't wait to see what I'm getting on my PlayStation during the showcase. I mean, they will. I mean, and Xbox is giving them with statements like this that's on the screen right now. Xbox has left it full open for them to say stuff like that. Yeah. Let's see. It's his opinion because this convo got leaked. Yeah. Let's see. Fastback says Xbox will continue to have select games go multi-plat like Minecraft, but full third party, no. I think it's inevitable, Fastback, as I've always said, because again, Xbox said one time says not every Xbox game will come to PC, but then Shaddai says when a new generation starts, maybe they're going to be like Phil Spencer confirms everything's coming to PC. Maybe when next gen launches, it's going to say, and all these games will be available on on every platform, including other consoles. I mean, he could very easily say that because, again, Xbox is a company that just continuously changes directions. Let's see. Yeah. They want Halo, Gears, and Forza so bad. Yeah, because they don't got anything that plays like it. I mean, PlayStation has been making the Halo killer for 20 years.
Kills them. They kill themselves.
Yeah, the Halo killer. Yeah, but they wouldn't. Let's see. Why would Sony want Forza on PlayStation competing with Gran Turismo? I mean, Drive Club. What's that one you play, Terry?
Dirt.
No, not Dirt.
What's it called?
The Crew.
The Crew. There are plenty of other games. I mean, F1, which is another simulator, is available on PlayStation. So, I mean, they just like that competition. As long as you're buying games on them, they see it. Let's see. Henry Jones says, I don't see Microsoft willing to kill Xbox and Game Pass just to gain Sony customers. That's what they would be doing by going full third party. Jez does say that over 50% of the gaming division's revenue comes from consoles. So they are trying to be as careful as possible to not alienate their console player base. But to be honest with you, until they straight up make console to make it hardline, this is what it will always be for give us time. This is what it will be for the whole generation. They're not going to grow it because consumers don't like uncertainty. Like hey Terry, buy this car that is the way it is, but we're going to send an update to the car now that lets it that starts restricting the type of gas you can put in it, or that instead of letting you do turn on a dime, you're not going to turn on a quarter. That's how it feels like when you're an Xbox gamer, because they keep changing directions. They're inconsistent. What you buy today is not what you're going to have tomorrow on Xbox. And this is going to sound ridiculous, but like a big selling point to consoles is exclusives, right? If you bought an Xbox knowing you're going to get Halo exclusive today, but tomorrow is an uncertainty, Halo may not be exclusive tomorrow. Are you going to buy Xbox? No, I'm going to go somewhere where I know exactly what I'm getting. Consumers don't like buying question marks or probabilities, especially negative probabilities that will, you can say whatever you want, but that will diminish the value of what you bought. And part of a console's value is exclusives. A gaming platform's value is exclusives.
And he even said it, that exclusives are very important to the Xbox console. Mm-hmm. He did say that.
Yeah. So, I do see them willing to kill the Xbox Game Pass. I don't think they're going to, but their uncertain messaging, their floating messaging, and again, look at Phil Spencer's games. I don't think we as an industry should ever roll a game coming to another platform. And Shadai's friend, he let go of his Xbox because it's an uncertain platform. This is a big problem for Microsoft, for Xbox, and they need to solve it. And so far they haven't. Because again, Phil Spencer said out of his own mouth, on platforms where Game Pass exists.
But you know who said that too?
Who?
Satya Nadella. Remember, he was like, I don't know why I'm not a fan of exclusive. Remember that one?
He did say that. Yeah.
So I don't know if he's trying to follow suit because that's his boss. So that's another thing that put pressure on Phil also.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree by Henry Jones. And if Microsoft thinks they can keep Xbox alive while going full third party, then they're getting really bad advice by someone. I agree. Mm-hmm. I don't know how things are in San Francisco or Redmond, Washington, where they live. But I think looking at their spreadsheets, they're missing out a lot of what is actually happening here. Like, Phil Spencer and them won't do interviews that ask them real questions. Every question has to be approved and all this other stuff. So, of course, they're only going to answer the kumbaya questions. But, Phil Spencer won't come to a podcast and just answer straight up. You're confusing Game Pass owners, or you're confusing Xbox. Your platform's not growing because your message is confusing. How is he addressing that? Phil Spencer will not answer that question. What are you doing? What is the absolute caveat that is this? Oh, they're going to have access to great games. They're going to have access to Game Pass, all this stuff, but not the thing that sells consoles, which is exclusive games. Games sell consoles.
Do they have some type of stipulations, managers like that, like Phil Spencer?
I'm sure there are. I mean, if Phil Spencer's like that, you can rest assured, everybody talks about groupthink taking over a corporation, but it's very active. Like, if you're not like your leaders or don't act like them, then you're seen as someone that's not a good fit. So a lot of people at Xbox
it's all about image.
Like Phil Spencer, yeah.
It's all about image, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So Fastback argues those games that went to PlayStation are not system/hardware sellers. No big. Right, but when everything goes over there, what is going to be a system seller? When everything goes to PlayStation, which in my opinion inevitably will, because historically it has, little by little, everything has happened. And again, only on platforms where Game Pass exists, and now Game Pass doesn't need to exist. So little by little, all this stuff is happening here where everything's going to go multi-plat. So when everything is multi-plat, what is your system seller? Game Pass? I don't think that's a big enough system seller, in my opinion.
That is true. And that reminds me of, I think not too long ago, we were complaining about Netflix, because I know we were talking about service, game as a service. Netflix trying to raise every single time the price. Imagine for Game Pass, every single time they're going to raise their price, and what's going to happen? A lot of people is going to cancel that out, and they're going to realize that they're not, like you say, system seller. Like, oh man, we should have went back how we used to be.
Yeah. Yeah, and Terry, feel free to jump in anytime with any opinion you have.
She's
Should I
thinking
say something
about.
to piss Terry off? Get it fired up.
I was about to, but you beat me to it. I was gonna say she's thinking about the nice game called Flight Simulator. Either that or Halo, her favorite
That's
one.
right, her favorite. Microsoft won't address anything anymore. They keep having things leaked to the same selected sources for reports to get around shareholders. It's tiring at this point. Oh, wow, man, that could be an inside job. Yeah, inside job. Let's see. Xbox has always been different, innovative, and bringing some games to other platforms is what they do. I'm not complaining about that, but it just seems uncertain that anything will stay exclusive at this point. Dog says that PlayStation guys will cream their jeans the first time they play Forza Horizon. Shout out to Doggy Dog. Shout out to ADM. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. He says, power is power, and PlayStation ain't crap compared to Microsoft. It is what it is. I don't know, man. As I said, the superior of the 4 games, the 3 of the 4 games that have been ported over to PlayStation have been the superior version and being ported to PlayStation. And I don't think the Shadows issue has been fixed on Hi-Fi Rush still. So, when you say power is power, I think PlayStation is kind of better at it at this point, because even Xbox games are running better on PlayStation. Whether it be a shadow or frames, they're running better. You might not care about it, which is fine. It doesn't affect gameplay, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't mean that it's not better. The better version. Let's see. And yeah, Fastback, this is what I said. Microsoft is a quarterly company, so every quarter Xbox is going to change messaging. Yeah, this backs it up. Let's see. I have PC Master Race people saying Game Pass is superior to Steam. Any questions left? I even expect to see Steam on the next Xbox. I don't know. If you open source an Xbox, how are you going to collect money from it? I mean, I guess you'll sell more consoles, but you don't make money off of consoles. And the Steam, what was it? The Steam box, I think it was called, failed miserably.
No, you're talking about Steam machines.
Yeah, the Steam machine. Yeah, failed miserably. So I don't know. Steam gamers tend to be PC gamers, and the thing about PC gamers is they like their mouse and keyboard and adding their mods and downloading their cheats and all this other stuff,
and hackings.
Yeah. So yeah, and nobody can tell me that PC gamers aren't the biggest cheaters in the world. I've been playing on PC for a long time. Trust me, they are. Let's see. DE says they got to be crunchy numbers. Why not? They got Excel. What would happen if they went full Sony? No Game Pass forced purchases. Yeah. Let's see. They got Excel. Yeah, you're right. They got to use it. Let's see. There is no confusion if you just play games, not drama. Well, that's the thing. Consumers aren't playing games, not drama. They're choosing the platform that doesn't give them drama, which is Xbox is giving them drama, whereas the other platform is not. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah. And Phil Spencer doesn't want to say anything to move the stock price down. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that too. Let's see. RWK88 says, I still believe Xbox wants to be on every TV, and I mean every TV without a console. All these purchases ensure that. Maybe. I know the cloud gaming didn't take off as much as they thought it would because Apple blocked it. So I know that's something they learned. Xbox Gamer says, Microsoft is playing with fire. I agree with you, sir. I agree with you. When will Xbox make controllers for PlayStation? Yeah.
They should.
Yeah.
They might actually work.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Doggy Dog, I think this PC storefronts on Xbox is a horrible idea. Why make the Xbox version of PC games if they can just buy the PC version on Xbox? Yeah. I think all it's going to do is lead to a quicker death of Xbox and Windows gaming and all that other stuff. So, yeah. Let's see. And I think I'm caught up to the chat. So, again, I think that this is what Jez said. All Xbox first-party games coming to PlayStation, even Forza and Halo and Gears. I 100% believe him. 100%. And I don't want it to, I don't like that. I don't think it's good for the brand. As I've said always on this show, I think it's bad for the brand. I don't think it's good for their future. I think it's just going to make Sega into, it's going to make Xbox into the next Sega. That's all it does, is it guarantees that it's going to be the next Sega. So, yeah. And I understand Microsoft has all this money, blah, blah, blah. Xbox will always exist in some fashion, just like Sega it still exists in some fashion. But as a major third-party, as a major console market dictating platform, if they bring all their games, which I believe they inevitably will, to other consoles, I think Xbox just loses all that leverage. It's going to be a Sony monopoly. Sony will dictate where gaming goes forward unless Nintendo.
Nintendo's not going to do anything. Yeah, Nintendo's not going to do anything.
Unless Nintendo does something. So I don't think it's good. I think it's terrible. I think as much as I believe it's going to happen, I don't think it's good for the brand. But they've left it fully open for it to happen, and they're not coming out denying that it's not going to happen. Even on their business update, when they were supposed to deny it happening, they didn't deny it happening. They left the door open to it happening, which is why I believe I'm in camp Jez Corden here. I believe it's going to come. The Steam-like stuff, I don't think is going to happen personally. So yeah, that's what I believe. What do you think, Terry? Do you think Xbox games all of them will go over to Sony eventually?
I mean, it's always possible. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But, who's to say what'll happen 10, 15 years from now?
I don't know if it's going to take that long.
I don't think they're going to do that because consoles are in the process of phasing out. So I think they would wait for the consoles to phase out because then they can be on their full thing of, focus on just being a brand that's everywhere versus having to be held back by the console.
Yeah, but when you're doing things to accelerate that console phasing out, don't you think that's counter to your interest? Like you're forcing something to phase out.
Yep, I feel that way. Yeah.
I don't think they're forcing something to phase out because it's already phasing out.
But they're accelerating it much faster. They're accelerating it for their console, not the competition's consoles, their console.
Well, the competition's kind of screwing themselves over on their own. So it's... I don't know. It's one of those things, like we've talked about before. They can only make consoles so good before they're just PCs anyway. So the next step is to everything will just be PC gaming or cloud. That's if that's the end all be all when it comes to gaming. That's the direction we're going in. And the console companies need to wake up and see that eventually they're not going to be able to compete because they can't graphically and everything make a console compatible with where PC gaming is. It's going to get to the point to where they're going to cap out on what they can do on a console without just going full PC. And with PC releasing new freaking, graphics cards and everything, like every year they have like 20 come out every year, it seems, kind of like the iPhone has like 20 every year. They're going to get to a point to where they're not going to be able to stay on par. They're gonna have a cap, and that's gonna be that'd be the end. It's either now you will have to be forever behind what people are on PC are getting, or they'll have to just make the merge to just go full on PC and cloud. That's literally where we're headed. It's just
I think so, but I don't think it's gonna be this gen or next gen, and it seems like
it's not this
Microsoft
gen.
is gonna not do next gen.
It's not this gen. I think next gen is where they're going to start pushing it a lot more. and some of their competitors are going to be slow to do. Like Nintendo will be the last one to do anything because they're kind of in their own little world, and they're going to be the last ones to react to the change of the ecosystem. But it's just one of those things where right now we've seen a flip-flop between Xbox and PlayStation. Last gen, Xbox was the Xbox has no games generation. Literally, this gen for PlayStation is PlayStation's got no games.
We want Xbox games.
PlayStation.
It went from Xbox has no games to we want Xbox games.
Yeah, so basically what happened, PlayStation has no games coming out that are, first-party exclusives. Everything's been delayed to the end of the generation, and the only games they have to look forward to now are last-gen Xbox games. So it's like, so they basically, it's just, they flip-flopped. So the next generation is going to be the one where they make a decision on how they're going to pursue keeping their brand alive without consoles, because the consoles, Xbox kind of killed off the console a little bit with last gen, and PlayStation's doing it right now this gen, so it's a lot of people have already
still flying high, baby.
You have your fanboys on all sides, but the fanboys are a very small percentage when it comes to the average gamer, and the average gamer is going to, they're not buying into all this nonsense. They're just going to pick a console that's affordable to them and has enough games that interest them. And so, I don't know. I kind of look at it as when you look at hardware, and we look at hardware we've bought in the past, whether it's a TV or back in the day when you would buy a DVD player or a VCR or whatever. I mean, you didn't buy a particular brand because of an exclusive. You bought whatever was within your price range and freaking worked. It's just different. It's just different. The gaming environment has made, with the console warring, has made it to where people will nitpick a piece of hardware. But when you look at entertainment as a whole, nobody else does that. It's like, if you want to buy a Samsung TV or an LG TV or I don't know what.
Sony TV.
Yeah, Sony TV,
TCL, baby, TCL.
Yeah, TCL. You bought
Insignia.
You do have the small percentage of people that are like, I'm only buying this TV because it has this frame rate and it has this and this and this and this. But the majority of people that buy TVs don't even look at specs. Okay, the average mom
look at the screen size to money ratio.
Okay, a family is going to go to Walmart and they're going to be like, this TV is the size we want and it's the price we want. We're getting that TV. They don't care about frame rates. Okay, that's a very niche group of people that are looking at that.
It's so funny you say that, because when I was picking a TV, it came down, I was looking at nothing but numbers, and it came down to either LG or Samsung. And because I like playing in the dark, and I heard that LG is better in the dark, that's the only reason I went to LG, and I have no regrets. I love my LG TVs, right? But like before, I was like, I'll buy an RCA, I'll buy a Sharp, I'll buy whatever, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't until I got seriously like back out of the army and out of college, and I got to sit down and be really focused on my gaming hobby, that I'm like, which TV is the best TV?
Yeah, exactly. But like again, that's a niche thing. The average person that
before
buys
that, I was just gaming on whatever.
But when that happened,
the average person that buys a TV couldn't care less about frames or any of that stuff. They don't, they don't care about HDR settings. They just want to know, can I turn it on? Does the picture look good so I can watch Netflix? And that's about it. That they're not going to care about all the other stuff.
Right.
Yeah, but those are people that are not educated because they're not, teaching them like, if you use this could happen.
I wouldn't say they're not educated. It's just, it's not something that's important.
No,
okay, you don't
when
need,
you go to the store,
you don't need all these high refresh rates and stuff if all you're doing is using your TV to actually watch TV. Okay, a gamer is going to have different things they're looking for because they're doing more than just watching TV. But the majority of people that buy a TV just freaking watch TV.
Yeah, and the people who play console games mostly play games. But again, a selling point for a console, is, as you said, Terry, the size of the TV is a selling point. A selling point to the console is the games, because it's a gaming console. It's not like a, I don't
VCR.
know. It's not a what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a decoration console. It's a gaming console, right?
I think.
And by the way,
where,
if it
I
came
think
down to
that's
decorations,
where-
the PS5 is the worst console decoration ever made. Just saying.
I'm just saying, like the gaming industry is just different. You know,
Mhm.
when it comes to media, like if you're gonna go and you're like, if you back when we bought movies and we didn't rent everything through a service,
Mhm.
you know, you didn't really pay too much attention to, like, if the movie was bad, then you bought a bad movie. You know, nowadays you buy a game and you'll play it for like 30 minutes and people will demand refunds. But you know, you can go to a movie theater and watch a bad movie and it's like, okay, well, that movie sucked. You know, so it's just different, you know, and those movies had just as much of a same size budgets as these games do.
Now, yeah.
You know,
Hold on. Let me check in with the chat before it escapes us, guys. I know you got something to say, should I? But let me catch up here.
Me? No.
Yeah. I like how Terry says consoles. Jersey accent, consoles.
Okay, it's Wisconsin accent. Thank you very much.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
That's where it comes. It's not Wisconsin. It's Wisconsin.
It's Wisconsin.
So it's not a console. It's a cancel.
Yeah.
Love it. Let's see. PC, yes, has become easier for everyday gamer, but not compared to consoles. And a streaming gaming app is just as easy as Netflix. Yeah. Let's see. The good news is that Microsoft has already said consoles have hit their ceiling. So I don't see them trading Game Pass for Sony customers. Game Pass has unlimited growth potential, unlike consoles. I think it definitely has a bigger growth potential than console market does. The console market hasn't grown in 20 years. So it's a matter of like how much percentage of that console market do you own? Let's see. Jason Max says, my expensive Samsung TV went out in 10 months. My cheap TCL is going 4+ years. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah. And yeah, the game complainer says that Xbox games are going to PS5 and Switch because they can't get Game Pass on those services. Microsoft wants more money. Yeah, that's really what it comes down to. As I said, it's money. Shout out to Jago Kugan. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Let's see. Most people that buy TVs with most features they can afford at a price they can afford. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Shout out to Chael Walker. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, my last 2 TVs is a Samsung for the Xbox app since I am the family's tech guy. They tend to ask me about recommendations. That's good. Yeah, my family does the same thing with me. And I do recommend either Samsung or LG right now.
See that?
Let's see. And Jago Coogan says, I've been listening since about 9:30, but I've been busy until now. Well, you know what, guys? If you are just listening and lurking, we appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are all still the MVP of this show. Be sure to, take a little bit of time, give this show a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. The thumbs up really helps us get discovered, especially in the live section of YouTube where we compete for audience. So we would really appreciate it because we get recommended to more gamers the more thumbs up we get. So help us beat that YouTube algorithm. Help us beat
do like I do. Like on like.
Yeah. So like I said, I think this is coming. I don't think it's affordable, but is that going to stop me from playing Xbox games? Absolutely not. I love this brand. I'm still going to be subscribed to Game Pass. I'm still going to be playing my Xbox games. I might not buy the console anymore if it goes like a niche console, unless it's something that really benefits me, like a handheld, and I can take it with me somewhere. But the console on the TV, I might not buy anymore because I can do it on PC, and I have a gaming PC, as I have had since I was about 12 years old. So playing all my favorite Xbox games on PC is just the same to me as playing it on my console. Almost, except for the Xbox Live Party is much easier on Xbox. Just saying. But if they go full, if everything comes to the competition, there really is no reason for me to buy the console, other than again a niche, something like a handheld that I can take with me. But I'm not going to stop being an Xbox gamer. I will probably, as long as Xbox exists in some form or fashion, I'm going to enjoy their games. Because at the end of the day, I am a gamer. I play games. I'm here for the games. But because I am here for the games. You know, if your game is exclusive to your console, well, then I guess I'm here on that console because I want to play those games. You know, like my PS5, I bought my PS5 specifically for God of War and Final Fantasy. Those two franchises alone, being exclusive to PS5, got me to buy a PS5. So, you know, if Halo is no longer exclusive to, you know, Halo, Gears, Forza, and the other games I love on Xbox, right? If those games are no longer exclusive to that console, I'm not buying that console. I'm sorry. Doesn't mean I'm not going to play those games. Doesn't mean I'm not going to be an Xbox gamer. I'm just not buying the console. And Xbox might be okay with that. Who knows, right? I might have a big old problem with this, but apparently Xbox doesn't. So everybody's happy. I'm happy. They're happy. I saved $500 on the next gen console. So, you know, take it for what it is. Right. So if all these games go multi-plat, Terry, are you still going to buy the console?
I'll buy the console until, you know, like I said, they phase out, and then I anticipate, you know, it'll just be an app. you know, it'll just be an app. You know, everybody will then have to pick a TV that actually has, you know,
it's gonna be a Microsoft Surface TV.
Yeah, you got a TV. You'll have to pick a TV that has a PlayStation and a Xbox app, and a Nintendo app. but yeah, it's just one of those things. It's I like my console because, you know, it's makes everything easy, but I don't need a console. All right, I already have a PC. I just don't really game on it. But if I had to make the switch, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It just, the hardest part would be getting my friends acclimated who already don't do both. Mm-hmm. That would be the hardest thing. But otherwise, but heck, if they go full on cloud and you can just play stuff off of an app, you know, off of your TV, or, you know, or you just download an app on your PC so I can still play it that way, that's how I would do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Shaddai, if every game came to, let's pretend next generation starts, let's just pretending, okay? Mm-hmm. And Phil Spencer says, hold on. Phil Spencer confirms that all Xbox first-party games are coming to PlayStation. Are you buying the console?
I'm gonna wait and see. At first, I said no. Mm-hmm. I will not buy him. I might as well just stick with my Nintendo anyways, because I will not go to PlayStation whatsoever. I already had a bad experience already. Mm-hmm. So I
come to PC Master Race, Shaddai.
Remember, if they worry, I mean, if their only mentality is to make money. Now, my mentality is going to be, do you really want to spend $4,000, $5,000 PC, which it could be to a down payment of a house? So that's a wait and see. Everybody would like to go for a cheaper one, and you know that anything that Nintendo makes is going to be way cheaper than anybody else. So I'm going to stick with a wait and see. I don't know. Because that was the purpose of me going to Xbox. It was because everything was, well, for me, everything was different compared to the competitor. It was way different. And I like how it was, that it was like, yes, similar to a PC. And I remember my first experience was you could rip your CD on the Xbox One so you could play and listen to the music at the same time. So, you know, that's the reason why all those things and play. And
that's why PC is so great. You can literally watch TV, listen to music, and play a game at the same time.
Like I said,
you can't do that with consoles.
No, well, actually, you can on the Xbox, but you gotta download or specify, Spotify. So if you put Spotify and play, so you can listen to the music and play at the same time. I don't know if you could still rip. I know that's not gonna happen.
Probably not. But I was gonna say something. So, like, even if all the exclusives that Xbox has went to PlayStation, I would still stick with Xbox for the simple reason that I am primarily a third-party gamer anyway. Most of the exclusives I don't care about. And two, I've had horrible experiences with PlayStation between multiple consoles being defective, controllers being defective. I don't have any trust.
Getting hacked.
Well, I've never been hacked. They've getting
Yeah.
hacked, but I've never been hacked. Thankfully, knock on my fake wood desk. But like I don't want to give PlayStation, like I refuse to buy a PlayStation 5. I still have a PS4 collecting dust. I will not buy a PS5. There's no reason for me to buy a PS5. And I would assume that PS5 would break just like my PS4 did and all my other PlayStation consoles did. So like why invest that much money in a piece of hardware that don't last? You know, it's pretty crazy when you spend like $500-$600 on a console that's supposed to last you 10 years and it doesn't. And then you can go and buy some like knockoff thing that will outlast something like that. You know, like the, I forget who it was. I think it was Jason or something who had mentioned their Samsung TV failing them. Like,
yeah.
You know,
Disconnected,
so yeah. So like that's how I feel, you know, or like even if you want to look at cars, you'll go and you'll see people buying, let's say like the new Bronco, and it's a hunk of junk that has a lot of problems, and people
the engine blowing up on them. Yeah.
Or you could go and you can spend $1,000 on some junker, and it's going to outlast the Bronco. You know, it's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah, consumers are conscious of their investments. That's all I gotta say. You know,
Mhm.
Xbox might not see that, but consumers are very conscious about where they spend their money. Just saying. Let's check in with the chat again before it keeps escaping me here. Let's see. Chair Walker says, "As long as Xbox makes the console, I will buy the console." And exactly, Chael. Yep. Stephen Avery says, "What does everyone assume PlayStation is a safer position than Xbox? I would bet the richer company with the bigger ecosystem. I don't think Xbox is ever going to fade away as a brand, but we're just talking about the console business. And PlayStation's console is certainly in a safer place than Xbox's console. We're just referred to that. Let's see. Dog Dog says, I'm on Xbox till the wheels fall off. Let's see. I currently have one desktop PC that I use, 2 others sitting in the closet, 2 gaming laptops running, again, 2 others in the closet, 1 MacBook running, and I spend most of my time on my consoles. Man, it's time to sell those things on eBay, buddy. Let's see. You can build a gaming PC for $1,200 to $1,500 max. 5,000 gaming PCs are pretty much for workstations not needed for gaming. Workstations at work at my job are $5,000. Yeah, you're not kidding that.
I mean, you can get a pre-built gaming PC for $600, which is the same price as a console. So like that whole argument that people make about PC being crazy expensive, that's only if you're going into the route of custom building and you're trying to get like the real top of the line components. You can get pre-built stuff that'll play your games for $600, the same price you're paying for a console.
I bought a $1,600 gaming PC on Black Friday for $1,000. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. So,
but that is how we feel about this. How does the chat feel, Terry?
All right. Should Xbox go full multi-plat? 46%. No, it's a betrayal to the Xbox gamer.
Yes,
30%.
absolutely. Agreed.
30%. Only if PlayStation does it. And then 23%. Yes. About time exclusives ended.
You forgot one. Poll completed, 13 votes.
Hey, you know what? Whatever, guys. Whatever. Okay. So moving the show along. Let's see. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but Xbox has officially announced the showcase on June 9th. So Xbox Game Showcase followed by Redacted Direct Edge June 9th. This is the image that they posted. Everybody knows this is Call of Duty. Everybody knows this is Call of Duty.
No, it's not.
It's 100% Call of Duty.
That's Division.
Division, my foot. I thought it was going to be State of Decay because it's orange, but I'm like, no way. Let's see. So the Xbox Game Showcase will be live streamed June 9th, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern. So that's going to be 12 here. And June 9th is a Sunday. So Sunday.
You know,
right after Good Morning Xbox, be sure to catch the Xbox Game Showcase. So that's going to be a fun prediction show right before. Let's see. Like our double standard last year with Starfield, immediately following the showcase, we will be airing a special deep dive into the next installment of the beloved franchise. Of a beloved franchise. We can't say much, so for now we'll call it the Xbox Game Showcase followed by Blank Direct. This will also be our first showcase featuring games from our portfolio of studios across Activision, Blizzard, Bethesda, and Xbox Game Studios, in addition to titles from third-party partners. They might as well just call it X3. E3 is dead, X3 is alive. Yeah. So there'll be 9 live streams: YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. Airing times, of course. The double feature kicks off a week's worth of coverage here on Xbox Wire. So while the show might only be one day, the week's worth of coverage follows. Of course, they're doing the FanFest tickets, right? Again. And all this stuff. So Redacted, based on the image, they got the White House there. They got this symbol, which has appeared on Call of Duty games in the past. It is 100% Call of Duty. So no secret. So Call of Duty Black Ops 5, I think is what it is, right? That's the number we're up to, Black Ops 5?
Another thing that I talked to some other people, I think that's more like 6 or 7 because you got to include Cold War and Vanguard. If it's
But
made by
those weren't
Treyarch.
Black Ops, were they?
No, but I think it's like, just if you want to go by the track record of Treyarch.
Of Treyarch. Okay.
You know what I meant.
I think it's, I want to say it's Black Ops 5. And the reason I want to say that it's Black Ops 5 is because look at this. Look at this last Cerberus Black Ops picture you got here. Shaddai. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Go ahead. Give me your thoughts.
That's actually part of Wisconsin. You know what I mean?
Wisconsin.
I live Terry on this one.
All right, so the Redacted is Black Ops. Are you excited for the Redacted showcase for Black Ops? Now, normally it would be on the ABK showcase, but now it's moving over to the Xbox showcase. So, what do you think?
I mean,
Terry?
I have never once watched any showcase for Call of Duty, so okay.
Okay, so not interested in the
No.
no.
Call of Duty is one of those games. If you played one, you played them all. They literally don't really change, and I mean, they do have accuracies when it comes to sound design and the way the guns behave.
Mm-hmm.
But gameplay wise, that game does not take any skill.
Oh,
Yes,
the
it
Twitch
does.
shooter doesn't take any skill. Don't let streamers hear you say that.
Yes, it does. You know,
Oh,
you
see,
don't
there
jump
you
in.
have one streamer right there.
They jump in and gunning and bullet sponging.
Yeah. So there you go. The Xbox Game Showcase announced officially by Xbox. So out of the games announced so far that we know exist for sure, which one are you most excited to hear some more about, Terry, that we haven't heard from?
For the showcase?
Yeah, like which one are you looking forward to hearing some more from? I'm talking like everything that's been announced. Like some things have been shown and never shown again, like Perfect Dark. We haven't seen that.
Perfect Dark would be a great one to, because it hasn't really been in the news lately. So it's like we do need to hear about that. I'm all for that.
Yeah, and chat, let us know which game you want to hear some more about that hasn't been, or that you're looking forward to getting some new information on at the showcase. Maybe a new trailer from Xbox. Let us know. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say.
Well, what was I going to say? Yeah, I don't know, because I feel like their main focus is going to be on stuff that's probably coming out this year. So I don't foresee them
18 months.
Yeah, so I don't foresee them showing off too much stuff of things that we're not already expecting, since it's just the showcase. They would save big reveals and stuff for like the Game Awards or whatever. They're not gonna. I don't think they would really have any big reveals. It's gonna be mostly just kind of hopefully giving us dates for games that are coming out this year. So get us the date for Avowed and whatnot, and that'd be it. If they could, bring up Perfect Dark, that would be great, because what were you guys at? Because it's been a long time since the announcement.
The initiative, the quadruple A studio.
Show us. they're not going to have a date for it yet, but they should be at a point to where they should be able to show us some sort of trailer with gameplay, because we haven't even gotten a trailer yet. We've just gotten like a title, so like give us some sort of trailer. Even if it's not a gameplay trailer, just a trailer to give us an idea of what you're doing. Like give us something.
Yeah, give us something. Shaddai, which one do you want to hear some more about?
State of Decay 3.
Oh, such a good one. Yes, I love State of Decay.
State of Decay 3, we haven't heard from Undead Labs for quite some time. The last time we heard was that they wanted some advice from Coalition about Unreal, since they moved to Unreal Engine and they're the mastermind for that. And I was not too long ago playing State of Decay 2, which is really good.
So much fun. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Also, something from In Exile other than Clockwork, because I know Obsidian, they have a vow, but they manage to say some other things when they mention Avowed, and then they announced Pentiment, like back to back, which it was unexpected.
Absolutely.
But also, I wouldn't be surprised if they not announced, but it was like a little bit more of Outer Worlds 2.
Outer Worlds 2 would be my another one I'm excited about. Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect Dark, State of Decay, Outer Worlds 2. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yes.
I would want to hear about, believe it or not, I want to see what Rare is working on now that Sea of Thieves is multi-plat. Let's get back to exclusives. What's Everwild about?
Banjo.
Everwild was announced, and then I heard it went through some development hell and has been relaunched. But what will it be? I have no idea. No clue, everybody. And it's because it's the game I know the least about right now. But all these games excite me. As an Xbox guy, of course, I want to hear about Gear 6. I want to hear about everything. So I hope the advertising for Gear 6 goes way better than Gears 5. That whole, we're going to show the escape mode on the E3 stage and then release the trailer a month later, the first player story trailer a month later. I think that was a huge, huge mistake. Please do not let them do that again. Please.
I'm with Chio Walker. I forgot about that. Double Fine.
Double Fine.
Since Psychonauts 2.
Psychonauts 2, yeah. What are they working on?
Wasn't it like
working on Banjo?
I think I don't know if somebody mentioned a sequel to Brutal Legends?
Oh yeah, Brutal Legends, yeah.
A sequel to it, if I'm not mistaken. But they're very special, so I don't know. Double Fine, that's a good one, Chio Walker. That's a good one.
Yeah. I think that's a fantastic one as well. Yeah. Let's see. Doggy, your chat for some reason didn't appear on mine, but he says Fable will start the show again. I think that one has been kind of forgotten about. I think Fable would be a great opener.
Because they changed the narrative from the Fable that we know to Aesop Fable. Okay.
What Fable?
Aesop. Like, we don't want that nonsense.
No, I think they're not gonna announce it. It was kind of recent.
Jack and the Beanstalk, get out of here.
Yeah, I think they're gonna leave it like that.
Fable. That's not our Fable.
Yeah. Let's see. What if Activision has been working on a new FPS? The new FPS is called Black Ops 5. Let's see.
No. He didn't make for that. I think he was talking about frames per second.
Oh, frames per second. More filmic than any other game ever made.
Once again, we will get rid of the story mode.
Yeah. Chet Walker says release dates for games this year and some updates on games announced plus 2 or 3 reveals is my prediction. And of course, the Double Fine. Let's see. Jago Cookin says Everwild was just an experience when it was first shown off. My chat has stopped loading it, so I can't show you guys on the screen anymore, but I can still see the chat on YouTube, so I will be posting the chat from there. or just reading it. So be sure to let us know. So yeah, the Xbox Game Showcase coming. Not a lot of to announce here. Hopefully, and I think it's 100% Black Ops. I don't see it being anything other than Black Ops.
Division.
The Division. It's not the Division. Don't listen to this guy. Don't listen.
It's a collaboration between both.
I mean, the logo does look better in orange than green. I'll give it that.
Yeah. Let's move it along here to a topic that was brought up by coolcatterri. So I'll let Terry take it away. Take it away, Terry.
Take it.
Am I just reading?
If you want to read it or talk about it, I mean,
Don't take 2, just take 3.
Take 3. Take-Two Interactive is closing 2 studios, including Roller Drum developer Roll7. All right, so Take-Two Interactive previously confirmed that it would be laying off 5% of its total workforce. As part of the decision, 2 studios are being closed, Intercept Games in Seattle and Roll7 in the UK. Intercept Games was working on updates for Kerbal Space Program 2, while Roll7 developed Ali Ali World and Roller Drone, both of which were indies, showcase games.
yeah, showcase games, great indies.
Ali Ali, wasn't Ali Ali very popular?
Ali Ali World was very positively received. So was Kerbal.
Yeah, Kerbal is like one of the games on PC. Like people love that stuff. But so Take-Two Interactive is currently in the process of acquiring Gearbox within their $460 million deal. So they close 2 studios and they buy another one.
They buy 2 studios. All right, so what are the games here? Roller Drone.
I'm saving to spend.
So the games are Roller Drone and Ali Ali World, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you spell Ali Ali World?
Ollie, Ollie.
I don't know how to spell Ollie. That's not a normal word.
Well, the way
I mean, it is if you're Australian.
How do you spell Kerbal? Kerbal. There we go. All right. So just for things here. So Roller Drone is got an 80 OpenCritic score, and I like OpenCritic because it takes all the platforms that it got launched on to give it one average. So I'm a big fan of OpenCritic. 77% recommendation. Ali Ali World got an 86 and a 96% recommendation across all platforms. So wow. And Kerbal Space Program 2 doesn't have enough reviews yet, but it's so far scored an 8.5 out of 10 for them. So yeah, I mean, you're talking about studios that are putting out bangers.
At least within the indie space.
So imagine you put out a banger, Terry, and your banger gets shut down.
It's not more banging.
So what do you got?
No more banging.
No more banging.
Peggy 16.
Well, what do you think, Terry, about all this, these closing downs? I mean, obviously, I think it sucks. Anytime a studio shuts down, it sucks. But I mean, when you've been doing your job and producing great games and they still shut you down, what do you think?
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, and to be fair, a game like Roller Drone, this is a game that would benefit from having a lot of players to play with you. Because it is a little empty. I will say it's a bit empty, but I mean, the concept of the game is really cool. And if they could get enough backing, I could see them, in more funding, they could make that into a really cool, game if they were to make a sequel. So that's kind of sucks that they got shut down. I don't know what happens with the IPs if Take-Two is keeping the IPs. I would assume they are. And if they're moving any of the staff over to other sections, I don't know how they're doing that, or if they're just like, okay, you guys are all out of here. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the logistics of what they're all doing, but I feel like these games, it's difficult with indies because most of these are going to be low budget games because the studios are so small. So it's harder for people who are they're going to judge them differently because they're expecting it to play like a like a double A or a triple A game. And most indies don't play like that. They just don't have the budget for that. So you have to kind of look at them through a different lens to really get a feel for what they are, for what they were able to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think an indie is going to play like a AAA, you're wrong. And plus, all the experimentation right now in gaming is happening through indies. Really, indies are pushing the gaming gameplay forward.
Yeah, like I would never try to compare Rollerdrome to like a Tony Hawk game. Like that would be an unfair comparison. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't compare Rollerdrome to. I mean, considering it's like a stylish shooter, I mean, maybe to My Friend Pedro. Hello, you remember that one? My friend Pedro.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that one might be good because it was also a stylish shooter.
Yeah. So
yeah, but it wasn't a PvP stylish shooter.
No, I feel, but like I said, like this game, I think if they could have put more in it, because you see how empty it is right over here. You have all this area that you can travel in, and you got 2 enemies right here. This is probably one of their biggest flaws. It's just a little too empty. I think if they could add more to it to make it more chaotic, I think this would have appeal to a lot more people.
Okay. Let's check in with the chat here. And again, sorry, chat. My on the streaming software, the chat has stopped scrolling. It has broken. Let's see here. Jago Cookin says, after I tried Rollerdrome on Game Pass, I understand why they're being shut down. Wow, Jago, ruthless.
He was not a fan.
Yeah. Stephen Avery says, Take-Two shuts down Rollerdrome developers soon after it hit Game Pass, lol. Wow, Game Pass killed it. Killed that whole studio. Let's see. So Fastback is going back to the previous topic. He says, I'm looking forward to Game Pass, already revealed show, gameplays, release date, new games, and the Xbox hybrid handheld. Yeah. And Jacob Cookin says he wants to see Killer Instinct at it. Yeah. Doggy Dog says they will come out and announce that they acquired Crystal Dynamics at the show. Wow, that'd be awesome. Yeah. And Jacob Cookin says, my friend Pedro was awesome. Yeah. So there you go. Rollerdrome. Shaddai, what do you think about these games shutting down?
I'm with coolcatterri. What they're gonna do with those IP, which stands for intentionally phasing out.
Intellectual property.
No, intentionally phasing out because they're not. We're not gonna see them anymore. Yeah.
IPOs.
Yeah, no. We're not gonna see them again, anyways. This is very typical. I'd rather say they're just trying to save money. Remember, Gearbox is way bigger than them too. So that's what happened. He's just trying to save money to pretty much get through the Gearbox purchase. That's pretty much it. And give those IPs to Gearbox to make them.
Yeah, I feel like these big publishers owning indie studios is kind of weird because it doesn't need to be an indie studio. It could just be a small team like Xbox did with Ninja Theory. You know, they did the whole what was the name of that hero shooter that they made that failed?
You're talking about
Jesus, why can't I remember it?
You're talking about Enslaved.
No. It was a small team that made a game recently.
Oh yeah, that looked like Overwatch.
Yeah, that was like an Overwatch style shooter.
Bleeding Edge.
Yeah. So instead of making a whole new studio for that, they just made a small team. So maybe that's the approach that everybody's taking now. Is that thank you, Brando Calrissian, Bleeding Edge, yes. They're shutting down these indie studios to bring them into the bigger studios, and they're just going to make smaller teams of those big studios. You know, that might be the future of gaming. So maybe it might not be a shutdown; it might be a restructuring. Well, that's what I'm hoping for, right? Because games like Ollie Ollie World, they're knocking it out of the park in reviews and in gaming critics, and I haven't heard anybody who played it say anything negative about it.
You know what? That means they gotta suck it up with what was the owner's what's the guy's name for Gearbox? Right, it's not with an R.
Randy Pitchford.
Yeah, so that means they gotta suck it up with his lame jokes.
You gotta laugh at his jokes, man.
Yeah,
you gotta laugh at
Ali.
Did you guys see that? Wasn't that funny? Ah, hilarious, sir. Hilarious.
I think they don't want that. They don't want to do it, Randy.
Yeah. So when you got games like Ollie Ollie World hitting out of the park, a game like Kerbal Space Program 2, it's in early access, hence why it hasn't been released, which kind of makes me worry about it because it's still in early access. It makes me worry anyway. But these games deserve to have attention, and hopefully Take-Two, doesn't let go of the original teams that are working on this, because some games, once they lose that original team, they lose the original vision that gamers loved about it. And so Ollie Ollie World 3 or whatever is going to be so different that it's going to suck. Or Kerbal Space Program 2, once it's out of beta, is going to suck. You never know. You never know what will happen, but I'm just kind of saying that hopefully they're doing the small team approach like Xbox did with Grounded. Like Grounded was like what, a 12-person team or something. So they can definitely learn a lot from Xbox. So here's hoping that these games still get the attention they get, that those developers who worked on these games got an opportunity to maybe work at a different studio or work from home to continue their amazing work on some of these 80+ meta games. I mean, they are fantastic. Or not meta, sorry, OpenCritic games. So they are fantastic. Anybody got anything else to say on this?
No.
Nice.
Let me check in with the chat. Stephen Avery says Microsoft needs to lock down Crystal Dynamics in case they want to make another Perfect Dark game. Yeah, I agree. Crystal Dynamics needs to be an Xbox studio, in my opinion. Stephen Avery says the initiative can't make a game on their own. It's a new studio, and it's not like big AAA studios don't hire outside help. It's just normal. But yeah, they need to show us what they're doing. They definitely need to lock down Crystal Dynamics, in my opinion. With all that being said, guys, I think that's going to do it for the show today. Anybody got anything else to say?
Going to Wisconsin.
Yes. With that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. But of course, we wouldn't be able to do this show without you guys, the chat. And that's why you guys, the chat, will always be the MVP to any of those shows here on the Iconic Video Games channel. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have a fantastic Sunday. I'm Axel1324.
I'm coolcatterri.
And I'm Eternal Shaddai.
And we'll catch you guys next week. Bye, everybody.